Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're about to start in like 1 minute. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. I think we could get started now. Shout out to everybody in the building because I cannot be long. I'm gonna have to get off like that in like 2 hours. So yeah, we could get started now. Shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to Jackie. Shout out to Madison. Peace to everybody in the building. Family, make sure you hitting that like button. Make sure you sharing the stream. Make sure you're doing all that good stuff. Thanks for everybody being in the building tonight. We about to get started. And I think we should get started the same way we got started yesterday. Yesterday, we got started with the Cyrus Carmack-Belton situation. Well, we're going to hear what Tariq got to say about it. And I have a funny feeling that Tariq is going to blame black immigrants and blame the Democrats. I can see it now, but I haven't watched this video. We about to do that right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Can y'all see my screen? Is my audio good? Yep. So let's go.
Yeah, y'all talking about this case that we got to touch on. Let's touch on that. We got to talk about this case out there in South Carolina. A case involving an Asian man named Rick Chow. All right. A lot of people are talking about this case. There was a case involving a 14-year-old child, and we're calling him a child because you are a child, a kid named Cyrus Belton. This was in South Carolina. This child is basically another rehashing of the Latasha Harling's case. You go into an Asian-run store. This child, Cyrus, 14 years old, black child, he was accused of shoplifting a damn water bottle, which he didn't even shoplift. All right, let's get something straight. This kid did not steal anything. This kid didn't steal anything. They looked at the surveillance video. He looked in the freezer, picked up some water and put it back and just left. And they assumed he stole something. And then they ran after him and pew-pewed this kid in the back and unalived him. All right. And then they tried to say that he had a pew-pew with him, but he didn't point the pew-pew at nobody. They tried to say he had a pew-pew with him. That's questionable. That's some questionable stuff. But they unalived this kid. It wasn't no self-defense because the kid was leaving. He saw that these folks was on his bumper and they pew-pewed this kid in the back. So there was a trial and that jury said, okay, this Asian man, Rick Chow, is not guilty. So this is just like the Latasha Harling situation. It's another case.
Yeah, I want to stop it right here. I do not believe he had a gun. That's why, again, that guy brought up, like when we played yesterday, he said, because Chow said that the gun he took the gun out of his front pocket and pointed at him. And the camera, you can clearly see he has no gun in his front pocket. So where would the gun come from? Because you said he took it out of his front pocket and turned around and pointed it at you. But we could clearly see he had no gun in his front pocket. I personally believe they planted that gun on him. I personally believe that. That's just like the first time I'm agreeing with Tariq. I do believe that they planted that gun on him. Like, I don't believe that. Like that, oh, he had a gun. But all the eyewitnesses say they never saw him turn around. He was running from you, and we could see on the camera he clearly doesn't have any weapons on him. But then you go shoot him 130 yards from the store, and then magically, oh, he had a gun and he had it in his pocket. That was a lie. Bold-faced lie. Anybody looking at the camera footage can see that was a lie.
It's that. Hold on one second. I'm getting emails and stuff like that.
Or listening to the witnesses. Not just the camera footage, the witnesses as well.
Hold on one second. So listen. Man, what did I say? Hold on one second. Y'all bear with me. All right. Y'all bear with me. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
We're not doing
Y'all
that.
bear with me 1 second. Yes. See, the dominant white tea society, they like to position non-black groups as buffer class entities. They give these people provisional privileges. They give them economic access, legal protections, and something, family. And this is why that whole minority coalition nonsense, I ain't on that. You don't need to be on that. Ain't no damn minority coalition, family. I want y'all to understand the big picture here. I want y'all to understand the big picture. The dominant society, they are empowering their buffer class. See, the dominant white tea society, they like to position non-black groups as buffer class entities. They give these people provisional privileges. They give them economic access, legal protections, basically so they can manage, police, and extract resources from black neighborhoods. So they act as proxies for systematic anti-blackness. And again, like we said before, the Latasha Harlings thing, that was the blueprint. That was the precedent set in Los Angeles when this woman named Soon Jadu, she falsely accused a 15-year-old black girl of stealing a $1.79 bottle of juice, which she didn't. The girl paid for it, and then pew-pewed this girl in the back of the head before she left. I love TikTok Shop. And the dominant society gave this Asian woman probation. She let this Asian woman walk free. Now the streets turned up a little bit. That store, well, it wasn't there no more. I'll just say that. I'm not going to say too much, but yeah. The community made sure that store would never do business again. Yeah, that store got taken up out of here. And then Soon Jadu, she bounced. She had to leave the community. All right. And also understand some of that tied into the whole uprising too. All right. That tied into, that was one of the reasons the uprising happened in LA too. The Rodney King verdict was just a damn match. But that Latasha Harlin, people were still salty.
We're not doing this, Tariq. I got to speed you up. You got to get to the point. We don't need you to rehash any history. We already know the history. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, we're not doing that. We don't need you to rehash no history. Speed you up.
Over that. So the Rodney King thing was like, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Diabetic with sweet tooth. Hop on in, Diabetic. Hop on in, and please be applicable to the conversation, please. Diabetic, what's up? What's up?
Hey, what's up, Tariq? Can I ask you a question related to finance? I know it's a little off topic, but
not now. See, no. Y'all don't do that. When we're talking about something, y'all let's stick to the topic, please. Please don't do that. We're talking about something. We're on a topic right now, okay? All right. I just said, whatever you have to say, make it applicable to what we're talking about. Y'all stop saying, hey, let me up. Y'all be in the room in the chat. Let me up. And then you get up here and say some bullshit. Don't do that. Hey, let me up. I got some deep. Let me up. All right, here. Okay, what you got to say? It's a clause. Okay, come on now. Come on.
Tariq, you're a dummy, so you attract dummies to you. So I don't know what can you expect, but get back to this topic at hand, or we got to cut you off.
Right? We don't want to get off topic. We're trying to make a point here. All right. Like I said, this situation is basically like that, the Latasha Harlin situation. They're sending a systemic message that you'll be protected by the state if you are a non-black person who eliminates a black youth. You understand? For any reason. Just like the Peter Liang thing. Remember Peter Liang or Liang out there in New York City? He was a New York City officer, Asian guy. He unalived the Kai Gurley. And the Kai Gurley was Caribbean, by the way, but we still rode for Kai Gurley because we weren't rocking with those Asians attacking.
That's a lie. See, this is the game. Why would you even bring up the fact that he Caribbean? On top of that, FBA didn't even exist when the Kai Gurley got shot. Because if FBA existed when he got shot, y'all wouldn't have been supporting him. Because there were plenty of West Indians, black immigrants who got shot after FBA started, and y'all was saying that we don't care about that. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That ain't our people. So what are you doing? You's a bozo. Like now you trying to rewrite your history.
A black person. So Kai Gurley was pew-pewed in a stairwell, and the whole Asian community
And know what he just said? He said, yeah, we still ride with him because that's still a black person. So that defeats the purpose of even FBA. What is the purpose of FBA and causing all this division and strife in the community if you still going to have to turn around and unite with other black people because you all are facing racism? The same racism. So you're facing the same enemy. So you're going to still have to unite and come together at the end of the day. So what was the point of all this FBA stuff? What was the point of all this division? If you still got to unite with other black people at the end of the day, you just debunked the whole reason. You just killed the whole logic behind FBA. One of the logics behind FBA.
All around the country got together to protect this guy, talking about he's a scapegoat, it was a mistake, and all this stuff. The whole Asian community got together to protect Peter Liang and shield him. And the media was protecting him in the whole nine, and nothing happened to him. You see? See, they like to criminalize the victim to justify these executions. See, the legal system, they immediately pivoted to criminalizing the black victim to justify the violence. Like in this Rick Chow case, they were talking about the 14-year-old having a pew-pew even though he was fleeing. They said he dropped the weapon. He never pointed no weapon at nobody. He never shot back or pew-pew back. I love TikTok shop. And some people say he didn't have a pew-pew at all. I don't know. We do know he wasn't a threat to nobody. That's what we know. He didn't do anything. He didn't shoplift nothing, and he wasn't a threat. So they always have to frame a narrative that black people are always responsible for their own unalivings. And they do this whole self-defense loophole. See, when dealing with black people, the threshold for self-defense is non-existent almost. A black person or a non-black person, meaning like an Asian, a Latino, an Arab, or whatever, all they got to do is claim they fear for their lives. They use the white supremacist playbook. Even when they're aggressively chasing a black child 130 yards down the street, they can say, hey, I'm chasing him, but this is self-defense. I fear for my life. That's the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. You show up, you go across state lines to instigate something, and then holler about you in fear of your life. That's the Chud the Builder defense. He goes out here intimidating and antagonizing people, tries to unalive somebody, and then tries to claim self-defense. You see? The only reason Chud is locked up, and again, the trial still has not started, and it's the fact that he has a bail at all is ridiculous because he's engaging in acts of terrorism. I got to watch my words. I love TikTok shop. I gotta watch my words here. I love TikTok shop. So the dominant society, they'll let these people validate some irrational fear of being afraid of us, like we're gonna do something to them, and then grant them some kind of legal immunity. And we got these people who are economically exploiting our communities. They come in, they're allowed to set up shop in these black neighborhoods, extract the wealth, treat the residents as suspects from the moment they walk in the door. And the dominant society, they give a green light to that exploitation. You understand? So the system is functioning as it was designed. See, this is not guilty verdict for Rick Chow. That's not a glitch or a failure of justice. That's the system working like it was designed. See, we have to be the monkey wrench in that system, so to speak.
Okay, that's the system working as it's designed, you just said. So why would you promoting not voting? Because all these self-defense laws like castle doctrine and the stand your ground and all that other stuff that where people can chase people and shoot them in the back and say they had to stand their ground and they was in fear for their life. It was Republicans who pushed that. That was a racist Republican project to redefine self-defense. Because they said too many people were going to jail for defending themselves, aka too many white people were ending up in jail for shooting black people and trying to cry and say they feared for their life. But you know, that's not how that go. But anyway, like Tariq, you're a bozo, you're a dweeb. I don't understand how anybody can even listen to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see who's in the building. Let me do something that makes sense. Yep, Tariq grifting again. Shout out to Man of Tomorrow. Tariq ain't leaving California. Unless he getting chased by American Cholo again. Then he'll leave. Yo, what's up? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for Tariq to say it's the Democrats' fault. I'm waiting for it. Peace. Yeah, he picking and choosing as always, visionary. Picking and choosing. Who is this? So you just trolling? You just spamming the chat and you trolling? You're a weirdo. Nobody got to be intellectually dishonest. No, it wasn't. There was no stand your ground before the Democratic Party. But anyway, I got to put you on timeout because you're trolling. And get the fuck out of here. Oh, dad, you got me cursing. Yeah, Tariq, that's what he's doing. Just like with the Ogun juice. Our mom Arbery got killed. He said, oh, he wouldn't have died if he had some Ogun juice. I think he keeps saying that because he gets money for that. And or if you say something you're not supposed to say, you get in trouble. So he got to just say, I love TikTok Shop. Because, you know, TikTok pays you and stuff like that for saying that. Shout out to AZ in the building. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep it going.
We got to replace that system with a system of justice. This whole thing where you're going to engage in this anti-Black targeting and the institutional apparatus is going to provide legal cover, that's not going to happen. We have to stop that. We have to say enough is enough. We have to make these politicians who come around us talking about voting for some damn minority coalition, hell no. And understand something. Notice how these people are doing this thing where they're going after Black people who are soft targets. You understand what I'm saying? They're going after a lot of Black people who are soft targets. There was a video, what was that city where they actually fired a race soldier, and I think they charged him. It was a sister somewhere. This white T cop just came and just started beating the woman, just literally beating the woman for no reason. He was like, damn, what the hell? The Black officer had to get the white T man off the woman. Shout out to the Black officer. Shout out to that brother. But yeah, the white T cop just showed up, started socking the woman in the face, literally for people like, what the hell are you doing? That was in North Carolina, Shelby. Yeah, he got fired. And I think they're talking about putting charges on him. These cowardly race soldiers. You got to understand the white T supremacists, man, it's a cowardly institution. It's very cowardly. They depend on their institutionalized, militarized backing.
Tariq, you just babbling now. You just babbling. It's a cowardly institution. They require their institutionalized backing. Come on, you just babbling. And you tried to low-key bang the Democrats too. Shout out to Diasporian in the building. Diasporian, I saw the $10 you sent me at the end. I had ended the live stream, and then I just saw you sent it after that. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. And thanks to everybody who has ever supported me. Much appreciated. Appreciate it. Yeah, FBA babble. Just FBA babble. Yeah, no political action. And another thing, Tariq talking about all these people in our communities exploiting our communities. Tariq, you raised damn near $1 million. You couldn't have built something that generate money that the people need, like a gas station or something like that, with that $1 million. Like, come on now. Come on. Yeah, he backtracking.
For their strength. They are cowards. That was in North Carolina, right? So he got charged with assault today. Shout out to Marilyn Monroe. Good. They needed to charge him. That's good. But look at how these people are going after women, children, and elderly. Another case out there in North Carolina. Remember the sister whose mother was a victim of alleged elder abuse? She was saying that, hey, these people were abused her elderly mother and ultimately unalived her mother. And the sister kept trying to get justice. And everybody was playing these little institutional games. So the sister said, hey, okay, well, let me go ahead and handle this myself. And she got her pew and let a couple of lawyers have it. You know? A lot of people are feeling like, okay, if this system is going to be janky, do I have to go out here in these streets and produce justice on my own? You see? But they're going after elderly Black people, women, children. See, understand something. The dominant society, the white T supremacists, they're facing a demographic shift. The white T population, as we know.
Okay, that's enough. Tariq is off the topic and he's just babbling now. We're not going to listen to FBA babble all day. That's out. We're not going to listen to y'all babble. Oh, you said AZ. You said Afro Elite just mentioned Akai Gurley and said the same thing? See, again, they just defeated the whole purpose. They defeat the purpose of FBA. What is the purpose of all this delineation and being antagonistic to other Black people when you know you live in a country that there's people who will attack anybody Black? Because remember, all these FBA bozos used to say all that anti-Blackness that Black immigrants were facing wasn't gonna blow back on them, or people can tell the difference between FBA and Black immigrants. Now it's they just killing us, and they doing is seeing Black and they attacking. Duh, that's what people been saying. That's why this FBA stuff of delineation and being antagonistic to Black immigrants and attacking Black immigrants didn't mean anything. Now y'all trying to do some we all Black, so we got to stick together nonsense. What happened to hold your nuts? Because, yeah, when Black immigrants was being attacked, what was y'all saying? Hold your own nuts. Now this brother got unalived, and now y'all talking about how we got to stick together because, you know, we all Black. Because that's effectively what you're saying. That's effectively what you're saying about how they're just killing us and they're getting away with it because, you know, they just see Black and they attack. They don't care about FBA, Black immigrant, none of that. They just see a Black person and they go after them. So what was the point of all this? Shout out to everybody in the building. We got to get off this. I'm done with this. Family, we're gonna switch gears. Speaking of reparations, speaking of the Democrats and whatever the case may be, This is Tariq right now. I guess he's having the title of the video is about why we got to keep the pressure on the Democrats. This is which makes no sense. The Democrats are not in power, and putting pressure on one political party lets the other political party off the hook. But let's see what Tariq got to say. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you supporting the stream. Make sure you liking the channel. Make sure you subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell, joining the channel, doing all that good stuff. Helping me reach my goal. Whole lot of ones, we do a whole lot of nuns. PayPal, Cash App, I take it all. The jewels, everything. But let's get to it. Oh yeah, Tariq is back on Tariq Radio. So I guess the channel got remonetized, or he can upload to it again. So yeah, let's go.
Sure, there you go. All right, Miss Pillow Talk, hop on in, please. Miss Pillow Talk, what's on your mind?
Hello.
Exactly.
Hey, Pillow Talk, how you doing, dear?
Thank you for the fire emoji.
So I did have a quick question because I was looking at a video earlier, and the video was about reparations and from the DNC, right? Like from the Democratic Party.
Okay.
But I'm wondering, why is it never for the Republican Party? They're in control right now. Like, why are we not trying to convince them versus the Democrats?
Well, the thing is, we, as foundational Black Americans, we've been the base of the Democrats for the last 70 years. We've been the ones putting the Democrats in power. We put them in all their seats. All of the legislation that the Democrats got through, we were instrumental in that. We've helped the Democrats get all the power they've accumulated in the last 70 years. All of these civil rights laws that were passed, all of these other groups came from our suffering and struggling. We've been supporting these people, and they've been sitting up here giving our resources to all these other groups. So we want them to prioritize getting the resources to us because we have sat here and elevated them.
That was dumb. That was stupid. I'm happy the sister got a brain in her head, but she need to have more of a brain in her head and realize what Tariq just said didn't make any sense. So the Democrats are not in power. They have no power. The Republicans have all the power. So instead of trying to put some pressure on them to try to get something for us, we're just going to ignore them and allow them to just do whatever they want to do and just argue and complain about to the Democrats who can't do nothing for us. Which is so crazy. And on top of that, why are these FBA bozos even still talking about reparations? Reparations is officially a dead issue. Donald Trump and them is arguing against reparations. On top of that, you got racist white people suing in federal court right now to make reparations illegal. And it's going to go to the Supreme Court, the 6-3 Supreme Court, and that Supreme Court is going to say, yes, reparations for Black people is illegal at any level. So y'all killed reparations by not supporting the Democrats. So why would the Democrats listen to y'all talk about reparations now? And it's a completely dead issue. 2, you never just put political pressure on one party. Remember, Black people during the Civil Rights era were Republicans. Martin Luther King was a Republican. Like, if we just making it plain, we just keeping it simple, Black people were more likely to support the Republicans than Democrats. There were Black Democrats because Black people were voting Democrat because they lived in northern states, and the Democratic Party represented the cities. So Black people lived in the cities, so they voted Democrat. But at the federal level, everything made equal. Black people supported the Republican Party, but the Democrats were the ones in power. So Black people were putting pressure on the Democratic Party to give us civil rights legislation. And guess what? It worked, and we got the civil rights legislation. You don't let the other party off the hook. You put pressure on whoever's in power, whether they're going to listen or not. You got to bring it to the people in power. Don't matter what their political party is. See, Tariq doesn't even make sense. You mentioned the civil rights legislation, but you kindly forgot that Martin Luther King was a Republican, but he worked with the Democrats to get civil rights legislation through. So I don't get this. Oh, shout out to Justin March, my first moderator. He's in the building. He just gifted 20 memberships. Family, if Justin March gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Also, family, you can get your own memberships. Shout out to Justin March for always coming through with the support. That's my first moderator. But yeah, let's get back to this.
We've been the power base for the Democrats. So they owe us. We've been supporting them exclusively for 70 years. They're supposed to do something exclusively for us. It should be no, what about the Republicans? We haven't been voting Republican. We ain't done shit. Republicans ain't really rocking with us and we ain't rocking with them. The Democrats are supposed to do something for us as far as reparations. They do things for all these other groups. Why shouldn't they do it for us? That's the question to you, right?
Okay. I was just curious because I'm like, shouldn't we be putting pressure on them too? Let me go because these comments are mean.
No. Now, where are you from, dear?
I'm from Miami.
Look at this. Like she said, let me go. The comments are mean. I'm like, this is a cult. FBA is a cult. FBA is a cult. So this sister is simply asking Tariq a question and y'all attacking her. Simply asking him a question and y'all attacking her. Y'all cult. Y'all cult. Y'all cult. And now, because Tariq sees his audience attacking her because she dared to question the dear leader, now he got to go do a quote-unquote lineage check on her. You can't make this up.
Where's your family from? What, are they Caribbean?
My dad is. My mom is American.
Where's your mom from?
Miami.
Oh.
My family is American. Like my mom's side, they all American.
Yeah. Are they?
My grandma from Georgia.
Are
my
they?
Grandpa from New Jersey.
Look at this. She just told you. Her father's from the Caribbean. Her mother is from America. But now he's questioning that because Tariq, if you question him or you dare disagree with anything he say, you gotta be a black immigrant. Because only a black immigrant tether would dare disagree with Tariq Nasheed. So she just told you straight up. Her father Caribbean, her mother's American. Now you're questioning about whether her mother is really American or not because she dared to disagree with Tariq Nasheed, the dear leader. You can't make this up.
Jersey.
Are they? Your dad Jamaican or Haitian?
Haitian, Dominican.
Okay. Yeah, that's why you talking at Republican. How come you only going to Republican?
No. That's not true. I wasn't even raised with that side.
See, look at that. So now that's the reason she asked a legitimate question. But the only reason she asked that legitimate question is because of her Haitian/Dominican father. What are you saying? So only people who have black immigrant ancestry can ask intelligent questions? Because that was that was a legitimate, intelligent question. Why are y'all not talking about the Republicans? Why? Inquiring minds want to know.
Of my family. I was raised Black Americans, and I do believe we deserve things. That's not what I'm saying. But I was just curious because I'm like, why is it more leaning towards the Democrats? And I did think to myself, I'm like, okay, well, it's because Black people have been voting Democrat for this long. Even my grandmother used to be like, oh,
exactly, Justin March. How come Tariq can have a whole white woman living in his house, white mother-in-law living in his house, but that don't disqualify him? Just like yesterday. Phil the Advise Show trying to run down on that brother who is the president of an NAACP chapter who putting in work, and he questioning him about talking about black and brown solidarity at the political level while he got a whole Mexican family in his house. Like these people got to be the stupidest people you ever heard. You ever heard of. Like, you can't make this up. Imagine that. This man got a whole white woman living in his house. Like, Tariq never denied it. Only thing he tried to do when they say, yo, when he got exposed, and they say, yo, Tariq's white mother-in-law was a police officer, was an ex-police officer who lives in his house. He never denied that she lived in the house. And what he said was, oh, she was a good cop. How you know she was a good cop, Tariq? How does he get to question anybody? You can't make this up. These people are beyond, exactly. These people are beyond slow. They beyond slow. Oh, shout out to Red Pill Zulu in the building. Shout out to you, brother, for coming through with the 20 and setting it off, helping me reach my goal. Family, donate if you can. Help me reach my goal.
We vote Democrat because we can't afford to be Republicans.
Yeah.
I remember that, but I was just curious if maybe you had a different reasoning on why.
No, the Democrats are the main ones trying to shame us into voting. They're like, y'all better vote. Y'all gotta vote. Okay, damn it. Where's the reparations then? They're the ones who shame us all the time if we don't vote. So yeah, y'all break bread. Now, what you look like, Pillow? Hop on camera. Everyone wants to see what you look like.
I have a whole career. I know they do. That's so crazy. Talking about I eat dirt cookies. What's going on? What is going on?
See? What is this? FBA is a hate cult. These are people who cannot be taken serious. That's why, again, all these people talking about, oh, way you talk, Haven, you're gonna turn people off, or we can't have unity or dialogue. I don't want to have unity and dialogue with people like this. I don't care about them. I want them to know that I don't like them. I want them to know that every time you hear my voice, I'm calling you stupid. I'm making fun of you. I'm violating you. I'm not your friend. I'm not your buddy. I don't want to be in community with you. I don't want to be in coalition with you. I don't want to be in nothing with you. I want them to know that. Like, imagine me trying to be cool with people like this. Yes, she do sound like another pick-me, but I'm not going to say that too much to her because you don't know if she just started watching Tariq. She may not know. She might not be in the know. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna go to that point. But yeah, she is definitely sounding like one though. But shout out to everybody in the building. We got over 100 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button and supporting the stream.
Oh, you know, dirt cookies, man. What? Where do you even get that from?
Lord,
what they trying to say? Because I'm from the hood.
No.
What?
How come you want to get on camera? Look, is that you?
I have a whole career.
And
man, oh man, I have a real career. I don't want people like coming at my career. I seen like social media could be cruel to people with like licenses and stuff. I can't even play like that. I work too hard.
Oh yeah, you're not doing nothing illegal, but you can't show yourself.
No, it's just I like being incognito, but I do enjoy your show.
Okay. Are those your edges, or is that AI? You AI some edges?
No, I have edges.
Okay, there you go. I don't think she has no edges, guys. Thank you, dear. I think her edges are back in Haiti. I think her edges are all the way in Haiti right now. That's why she didn't want to get on. She had to Photoshop some braids. All right. Man. Let me see. Yeah, I knew something was off. I knew something was a little bit off. When she was talking. Oh, that's an interesting question. Hold on. Where are you from? Let me see. All right. Can we get one more in here, ladies and gentlemen? Can we get one more? Ladies and gentlemen, one more. We can do one more, right? Can we do one more? Let's get real estate cash.
Yeah, that was crazy. So again, Tariq is saying that he knew she was an FBA because she asked a legitimate question about why are y'all not putting any pressure on people who are in office, which makes sense. Like you can't make this up. But shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see what the other person got to say.
In the building, real estate cash. Real estate cash. Somebody said two more.
And what up, Tariq?
What's up, real estate cash? How are you, bro?
I'm good. Thank you for bringing me up.
Yes, sir.
I had tapped in the other night because I told you I had a few questions and I was going to give you some information, but I didn't get to drop the info I was going to talk to you about. But basically, it was on the Karmelo Anthony case.
Okay.
I had I don't know if you remember, but like last year.
Oh yeah, the Carmelo Anthony case. This is crazy. We about to cover that too. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter in the building. Red, black, and green. Oh yeah. Also remember BYB. You know how we do. BYB. Thank you for the fire emojis, family. Remember, if you can't support with money, you can support with a fire emoji. You know, hit that reaction heart. But let's see what this is about. Let's see what this is about.
I had actually tapped in on the X base. And I had DM'd Nikki and I was like, hey, I got some information because I talked to somebody like that was close to the family, but I didn't really want to go into all the details of like what they had told me. Just because I was thinking like, hey, I don't want this information to be like floating, around social media. And then like the judge may say like, oh, we're not going to let y'all like use this as like evidence or whatever. So, but either way, you didn't let me really, go into what I was trying to talk about. Because
this dude is babbling, man. Why Tariq is filled with nothing but babblers?
was like, okay, let me talk to you about some similar, cases or whatever, and you just really kind of wanted to know more so about that case. But basically, I'm gonna give you some information. I had looked up the activist that was working with the family. I think it's Dominique Alexander.
Okay.
But yeah, I had looked him up. This was last year when he was, doing the press conferences and everything. And the reason I had looked up his organization, I think it's like Next Generation Action Network or whatever. But I was wanting to speak to. I thought it was probably going to be somebody that like worked for him or something. But I actually ended up speaking to him when I called the number. And that's who I had talked to.
Thank you, sir.
I'm happy Tariq did that. Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. When you going to say what you called to say?
So much, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. God damn, man. Good grief. God damn, man. It takes this dude forever to get to the point, brother. I give you a chance to get to the point, and you get to.
Like, imagine how long it would have took us to listen to that. I had Tariq like in double speed. That was double speed, and it still took forever. Like, damn.
Filibustering and just going on and on, brother. Come on, we have thousands of people here. You got to get to the point. We're going to land that plane, brother. Yes, he calls up. Listen, I got some information. Well, it's deep. And then it gets into this filibuster. Well, I had did some research and I looked at something and then I went through some more files and then I got some more information from some documents. And I have come to the conclusion that it is a clause, okay? For the Karmelo Anthony case, is a clause. Blue is blue, green is green, orange is orange. We can't do clause babble. We cannot do clause babble, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We can. Respect. With love, like Michael Jackson said, with love.
Shout out to Madison for the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Thank you. Help me get closer to my goal. We 8 away right now to get in the goal.
With love, just try harder. Michael, we going on people, but tell them with love. Shout out to Michael. With love, just try harder. Get my shit played. With love. Good grief, man. Come on. Red fish, blue fish. Oh, the claws babble is too much, man. Come on. All right. Oh, man. I told you, anytime people, when they act like they got some real deep, top secret information, oh, God, it's never deep. It's always, it becomes like Mission Impossible. Now, listen, Tariq, I got some deep information I got to share with you, okay? I reached out to Nikki guard. She ignored in the briefcase, okay? Listen, we got big money on the table right now. Let me see, who's it? IDC, what's up, IDC? IDC in the building. What's up, brother?
That's enough. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, that's enough. Like this dude, his audience is crazy. A whole bunch of bozos. I never seen like how could you like get that many bozos to your side? Like, Tariq, you don't feel bad? I would feel bad. Like, if I had all these weirdos following behind me, I was like, yo, I gotta change what I'm doing. I don't care about how much money I'm making. But anyway, as y'all can see on my screen, we about to talk about the Carmelo Anthony situation. Yeah, about how he got an all-white jury. I don't know what his legal team is doing. There's no way. How y'all let them pick an all-white jury? Like, I think even the alternates are white. But yeah, let's get into this. This is crazy.
On this panel. And I can tell you that.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Within the last hour, a jury has been chosen to decide the closely watched murder trial of Carmelo Anthony.
More than 500 people were on the list of potential jurors, but the jury will not include anyone who is Black, despite this case being racially charged. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joining us now. Alex.
Hey, guys. Good evening. That's right.
Yeah. How could a racially charged case like this not have nobody Black? Nobody? Like, how did y'all let that go down? How did the lawyers from the family let that go down? Which y'all gonna throw? I think that y'all is just gonna go good for them because this is Texas and they got stand your ground, and a white boy just got acquitted for doing the same thing that Carmelo Anthony did. So y'all throwing y'all faith into those people just like that. So what y'all gonna do when he gets found guilty? Cry about hypocrisy? Come on now. Gotta do better than this. The brother life is on the line.
I can tell you that a court spokesperson confirmed that there are indeed no black jurors on this panel. And I can tell you that before this jury panel was seated, the defense objected to 3 black women being struck by the prosecution. Now, the prosecution contended that it was due to the fact that the women were educators, noting that this incident happened at a school function with young students. The defense then pointed out that those were three of those were 100% of the available black jurors in what's called the strike zone, adding that the state struck all 3. The judge.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's another thing too, black people, we got to make sure we sign up for jury duty more and more and more, because, or we make ourselves available for jury duty. I should say that. If you get that jury duty notice, don't pretend like you can't do it or whatever the case may be. Make sure you register to vote, because a lot of times they do jury selection from the voter rolls. So yeah, that's another reason why you need to be registered to vote and you need to be politically active. Because a lot of times judges are elected. They pick juries from the voter rolls. A lot of these district attorneys are also elected. County sheriffs are elected. So yeah, let's keep this going.
Went out and reviewed their questionnaires and came back and said that the defense's challenge to the 3 jurors being dismissed was denied. The judge said the court found that the state had non-racial means to strike the jurors. Now, background: Karmelo Anthony, 17 at the time, is accused of fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf last year at a Frisco ISD track meet. Anthony was reportedly sitting under a tent for a school that he did not attend. Witnesses say the two got into an argument and Anthony stabbed Metcalf in the chest. Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms. Police said that Anthony told them he acted in self-defense. Now, this case has become racially charged, fueled in large part by online speculation, rumors, and misinformation. On Wednesday, attorneys for both sides got an hour and 45 minutes to question the reduced poll of these potential jurors. They were questioned on their views on a variety of topics, including race, how they felt about serving on this case, and if they would hold it against the defendant if he chose not to testify on his own behalf. The defense also tried to gauge if the potential jurors would be uncomfortable giving Anthony a lower sentence if there is a guilty verdict. I talked to a jury consultant about the process so far.
It's an excellent team on both sides. I believe Bill Worski has, he's a veteran prosecutor. He's tried some very high-profile cases. And then Toby Shook has been both a prosecutor and a criminal defense attorney. And then Mike Howard is an excellent criminal defense attorney as well. And they, along with the DA, it's going to be a very well-tried case.
And I did speak with Allison Richardson before the jury was sat, so I did not have a chance to ask her about these late-breaking developments. Now, this high-profile case continues to draw supporters and spectators to the Collin County Courthouse. We saw another group of folks demonstrating at the entrance of the courthouse this afternoon. We expect that to continue throughout the trial, which the judge hopes to have wrapped up by the end of next week. And I can tell you that...
How could they have a trial wrapped up that fast? Shout out to everybody in the building. You right, 350. Like an excellent team that allowed no black jurors to be on the jury. Like, come on now. Mick Chill, son, you said that it's 10%. The county is 10% black, so they should have been able to at least find at least one black juror. I'm like, come on. Shout out to Carlette in the building. Exactly. The fix is in. Small racist town in Texas somewhere. Like, come on now. We know the Texas is the South. Like, this is ridiculous. Salute. Like, this is ridiculous. But yeah, let's keep it going.
19-year-old Karmelo Anthony was in court today for the proceedings. He was wearing a suit with a tie and a purple shirt, which is also the color many of his supporters have been wearing. He did take some notes during the proceedings. I can also tell you that there does appear to be some minorities on this jury panel. Again, however, none of them are African American.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought that up. You said there's some minorities, but yeah, they're not black, so that don't matter. Any minorities living in a small place like this think they white anyway. Like, come on now. Come on. Not everybody, but enough of them.
Opening statements begin tomorrow at 9 a.m. Back to you.
Okay, Alex Boyer in Frisco, thanks.
And a reminder, Fox 4 will bring you extensive coverage of the Karmelo Anthony trial. You can keep up with the latest court developments on fox4news.com, our socials, and the free.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Like, so yeah, I'm rooting for the brother. I don't want, yeah, I'm rooting for him. Because it's like, come on now. Like, he's not even getting a fair shake. Like, yeah, the case is like, this is like, what is this? Exactly. You said Elon Musk is buying black influencers. I got a video I got to do, like a pre-record about Elon Musk, something he said, and people was agreeing with him. Like a black influencer was agreeing with something Elon Musk said. That was racist. But I don't know if that person is bought. It's most likely that because the way Elon Musk worded it, it sounded like something like it sounded reasonable, but it's not. Oh, shout out to Lord of Slaughter. He's been a member of the channel for 2 months. He made 2 months being a member. Shout out to you, bro. He's also a moderator. So yeah, shout out to Lord of Slaughter. He made 2 months being a moderator of the channel. And he also donated $1.99. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Yeah, they trying to violate for Juneteenth. Talking about, oh, this case should be wrapped up in like a week or something like that. Yeah. And this case is in Texas. Yeah, they trying to ruin Juneteenth. That's exactly what they trying to do. Speaking of like ruining Juneteenth and trying to ruin black people's fun, for all you who don't know, the Supreme Court just allowed racist Alabama just got another W. The Supreme Court is allowing them to move forward with their voting right, their congressional map that takes away black people's political power. Let's get into this.
Now.
Yeah, let's get into this now.
Now, CBS 42 News at 10 starts with breaking news.
That breaking news tonight, the Supreme Court is allowing Alabama to use a congressional map favoring Republicans in this year's elections. Good evening. I'm Carly Lang.
I'm Sherry Jackson. The High Court's order blocks a lower court ruling that found those maps intentionally discriminate against Black people. This is the latest development in a redistricting frenzy across the country, part of a broader push by President Trump to try to hold on to the GOP's slim House majority in the November elections. The justices granted Alabama's emergency appeal to use a map it adopted in 2023 that has a majority Black population in just one of its 7 congressional districts. That gives Republicans a chance to reclaim a South Alabama seat in District 2 that is currently held by Representative Shamari Figures.
Reactions have been pouring in since the High Court's ruling. Governor Kay Ivey has released a statement saying in part, quote, "The U.S. Supreme Court confirmed what I have said all along, and that is that Alabama knows our state, our people, and our districts best. Again, this decision allows the August 11th special primary election to go forward using the 2023 congressional map. The candidates who qualified by May 22nd under the 2023 map will be on the ballot on August 11th, end quote."
The National Redistricting Foundation released a statement blasting the decision, saying in part the Supreme Court's shameful ruling allows Alabama to move forward with a gerrymander that was drawn with the explicit intent to dilute Black voting power, as found by a panel of judges that included 2 Trump appointees, is an absolute affront to the founding principles of our democracy and wipes out whatever was left of the court's credibility. This country deserves better.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. Yep. Alabama. Tariq Nasheed's ancestral homeland. You see that Tariq ain't talking about Alabama, right? Why he not talking about this? And I knew this was going to happen. Like they said, the lower court agreed that this was racist and they can't use this map. But the Supreme Court said, oh, it's not racist. They can use that map. We watching black political power be wiped out. Black people going back to Jim Crow. And again, this is the same Alabama that want to bring black people back to the antebellum South. Same Alabama. I think I'm going to have to play that clip again for all the people who didn't see it, because I see we got a lot of people in here that I haven't seen before. So yeah, you might have to play that clip.
End quote. We have continuing coverage on the story right now and more reaction, including from Alabama Secretary of State Wes Allen on CBS42.com and inside.
Yeah, that's enough of that. I want to play Jasmine Crockett's response to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's make sure my audio is still good. It's still good. Let's hear what Jasmine Crockett has to say about the Supreme Court and their racist attack against black people. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Because that's exactly who this court. You see, the reason that y'all want to do this right now isn't because you're afraid that we are after a power grab. It's because you want to lock in this racist agenda for decades to come. Because that's exactly who this court is. This court is racist. This court is immoral. And this court lacks any semblance of ethics. The fact that this court just on last night decided that they want to go after yet another Alabama seat, and then they decided to throw out the votes of the voters in Louisiana because they decided that they wanted to go after yet another black seat in Louisiana. The fact that Virginia decided to stand up and fight back, and it was this same Supreme Court that decided, forget the will of the people and the fact that they voted, we're going to throw that out. This isn't what democracy is supposed to be. So let me be clear about a couple of things. Number one, the court absolutely needs to be expanded because it's been expanded in the past. And yes, it makes sense. If we have 13 circuit courts, then we should have 13 judges. But let's just pretend that the size.
That's a fact. I've been saying that the courts need, because again, the reason that the courts was even expanded to begin with was to keep up with the circuit judges. So we got 13 circuits. We need to have 13 Supreme Court justices, at least 13, at least.
Size of America was the same. Let's pretend that the complexity of the cases was the same as it was when we originally got the 9. Let's pretend all those things. I would still argue that it is time to not only expand the court, to introduce some form of ethics and to put term limits on, because you have bad actors like Mitch McConnell. This court was packed by the Republicans. And that is the reason you don't want it unpacked. You see, as a trained attorney, I don't understand how the very same court could say that in the state of Texas.
Wait, the Republicans did not pack the courts. Trump won fair and square, and he got to put judges up there. The closest thing that you said right about that issue is Mitch McConnell being unprincipled, because at least one of those seats should have went to Barack Obama, and he blocked it. But again, all is fair in love and war, and they didn't do anything illegal. So they didn't actually pack the courts, because remember, pack the court means expand the court. It doesn't mean you just put whoever you wanted on the court. They didn't pack it. They definitely stuffed it with a bunch of Republicans. But hey, that was their right to do because they won the election. This is why Barack Obama said, and I said, elections have consequences.
4 days before we were to have the end of filing, it is too close to the end of filing. And so therefore, we've got to go ahead and go forward with these intentionally discriminatory maps. And these are the words and the characterization of a Trump-appointed justice. It's got to be bad when a Trump-appointed justice decides that something is racist and is willing to call a thing and put it into writing. But they did that. They didn't just say it. They laid it out in an opinion that was more than 100 pages long. But this very same court will decide that after votes have been cast to throw those votes out. The reason that we need to do something about this court is because this court has decided that it will bend to the will of a wannabe king. We have never in the history of this country needed a court to say that absolute immunity should be given to a president, because historically we don't actually keep criminals in the presidency. But we know that even after he had been found guilty by a jury of his peers, y'all went out and y'all wanted to say, yes, this is our guy. The same way that right now in the state of Texas for the Texas Senate race, I'm sure all of y'all will line up behind that criminal as well. So I don't want to hear about law and order. I don't want to hear about this is the right thing to do. Just be honest about what it is, because y'all are basically saying that we're stupid. You're playing in our faces. We know that this is about locking in this agenda because you will never do right by the people. The reason that we have elections is because the people are supposed to decide whether or not your policies are actually working for them. But because you have killed our economy, because we are sitting in the midst of an unconstitutional, unlawful war, because we have a president that is lining his pockets and the pockets of his friends and his families in violation of the Emoluments Clause and so many other laws. Y'all want to lock in absolute power by any means necessary. And the last thing that I'll say is I got to respect your gangster, because that's exactly how y'all are acting, like real gangsters. Y'all are mobbing out. And that's one reason that the Democrats are struggling right now, because they have always tried to play by the rules.
She teaching. You're right. We'll never get this kind of fire from Tariq. Tariq would be bowing and scraping. He'll be taking money from Republican donors. That's what he'll be doing. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for that one. Yep, I would marry Jasmine Crockett too. Yeah. Shout out to Purcell in the building. Like, come on now. This got to stop. But yeah, let's get back to this. Let's let her keep cooking.
I am here to say that I applaud the people of Virginia. I am here to say that I applaud the people of California. I am here to say that we need to meet fire with fire and fight y'all tooth and nail so that we can do right by the people.
Lady has expired.
I will yield.
Yeah, shout out to her. Yep, you're right. Only a few people bringing fire like this. Only a few people. Like, yeah, this is ridiculous. But yeah, let me show y'all that. Because again, I know some people will be like, well, I showed this before. I gotta show it again. For all those who didn't see, this is the Speaker of the House of Alabama celebrating that black people are going back to Jim Crow. And now he's saying, all we got to do is get the 14th Amendment overturned and we can bring black people back to the antebellum South. We got to watch this, man. I'm telling y'all. Like, people got to see this is not a game.
Well, it certainly gives us an opportunity to look at those congressional districts again. Gives us a chance at all of them if we get some reprieve from the courts. And so we'll see how that goes, and certainly hope that the Supreme Court will overturn Amendment 14 and gives us a shot to revisit those.
What would you say from your perspective? I mean, other than Mr. Pro Tem, everyone was relatively silent on the goings-on. What would you say from your perspective is the biggest misconception about what the bills do, and a message that you'd like to see out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the biggest misconception is, the thing about it is people tend to forget what happened when this thing went to court before. We actually, the Republican Party had that seat in, I guess, in Mobile, number 2 seat, that's the congressional seat 2. So the district 2. And so that was one of the things, there's been a push through the courts to try to overtake some of these red state seats. And that's certainly what happened in that one. And with the ruling that happened in Louisiana, we felt like it gave us a chance to maybe regain that seat, but also opened up District 7. So I think that's happened. All we need now is the courts to overturn 14, and we can look at a new election. The thing is, if we did nothing was going to happen. And I applaud the governor for calling us back in and give us a chance to revisit that and look at it. And what happened here in Montgomery in that Senate seat probably should never happen to begin with. And so Of course, I'm at the point that probably none of it should happen again. We got 3 branches of government. It's our job to legislate, to draw those district lines, and for the court to interfere with that. And to be honest with you, I thought it was a slap in our face because we'd spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in reapportionment drawing those maps, and they let an 18-year-old kid from the university, or I don't know how old he was, maybe 19, send the map in, and they took it without a consideration for what we had done.
That's enough of this bozo. That's enough, y'all. But y'all heard it. For all the new people in the building, you heard it. They want the 14th Amendment. Something I was saying. I remember I've been saying stuff like this. But guess what? People said I was lying. People kept saying they can't do that. People said I was fear-mongering. Now you see it live and direct. They want to bring black people back to the antebellum South. Because if they get the 14th Amendment, we back to the antebellum South. The 13th Amendment got a loophole in it. They effectively killed the 15th Amendment by gutting the Voting Rights Act. Now, only thing they got to do is get the 14th, and then they will have effectively got rid of all our gains we made during Reconstruction, and we will be back in the antebellum South. It'll be back to the antebellum era. I can't believe this. We let them take us back 160. They trying to take us back 160 years. And we let this happen by simply not showing up to vote for the people who have always had our back. Ridiculous. But I also want to show this. Since she mentioned Mitch McConnell and his corrupt behavior, I want to show this video. This is an old video. Shout out to everybody in the building. This is an old video of me that I did about Mitch McConnell. Wait, my audio just got messed up. So let me stop sharing. I'm going to have to start sharing again. Shout out to everybody in the building. Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Good, good, good. All right, I'm going to play a little bit of the video. Tell me if y'all can hear it.
This is something to really be proud of and to feel good about.
Can y'all hear that? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard that. Let me see if I could get a 1 in the chat if y'all heard that. All right, I got a yes from Justin March, so I'm going to keep going. The name of this video is Mitch McConnell spikes the football on the Senate floor while talking about Annie Cody Berry. Because this is when Trump got the 3rd pick. This is what made the Supreme Court officially 6-3 conservative.
This is something to really be proud of and to feel good about. We've made an important contribution to the future of this country. A lot of what we've done over the last 4 years will be undone sooner or later by the next election. We won't be able to do much about this for a long time to come. Fortunately for Judge Barrett and for our nation, history will remember what is already clear. The deficiency is with their judgment, not hers. Their judgment, not hers. The Senate is doing the right thing. We're moving this nomination forward. And colleagues, by tomorrow night, we'll have a new member of the United States Supreme Court.
Peace. My name is Haven Bullis. Today I got to do this video. You just saw right there, that's Mitch McConnell spiking the football. This whole 13-minute clip on his YouTube channel was him spiking the football. But as you saw, he went off script to turn to the Republican Senate, the Republican senators, and give a little victory speech. A victory speech within a victory speech. And he spiked the football, and he's dancing in the end zone. Because like he said, a lot of stuff that they did will be undone in the next election or so, but they won't be able to do nothing about this. Because he's talking about ACB being appointed to the Supreme Court, making the Supreme Court 6-3 conservative. Like I told y'all before, that when people were saying that, oh, it's just 4 more years of Trump. I mean, it's just 4 years of Trump. We've been through worse. Black people went through 400 years of oppression in this country. We could survive 4 years of Trump. I'm like, yo, first of all, Trump is like nothing we have ever seen in this country. 2, it's not going to be 4 years of Trump. It's going to be 40 years of Trump via his court appointments, all those judges. And they know it. That's why he said, y'all not going to, all this other stuff that we did, yeah, you're going to be able to overturn that, but you ain't going to be able to overturn this. And this will carry us through. They know it for 40 years. Mitch McConnell is basically in the white man Hall of Fame, man. He's in the white man Hall of Fame. You see how Tom Brady is already in the Hall of Fame, even though he's still playing, and we know he's a first ballot Hall of Famer as soon as he come up. That's Mitch McConnell for the work he has done over the last couple of years. Or the last couple of years. Say last decade of work. And he knows it. This is the cherry on top. This is the go-ahead 3. And most of you are still too stupid to even realize what's going on. Are you still talking about a check that's not on the table? Are you still talking about, well, what we gonna get? The opposition is dancing because they just scored and it's only 0.4 seconds left on the clock in the 4th quarter. They won. And I'm gonna end this video here. Yeah, they won. They won. This AZ, I made this video like 5 years ago. This video is like 5 years old. This is one of my old videos. This is like a 5-year-old video. That's why I said Tom Brady was still playing. Like this, like 5 or 6 years ago. I made this video. And Justin March, you are right. He is worse than Trump because it's through his leadership that Trump was able to even do the bad things that will hurt us long after Trump is dead. Purcell, they definitely can pull this off. They definitely can pull it off. What I think they're doing, I think they're just waiting. They're biding their time because they're going to see if one of the other liberal or conservative judges drop dead so Trump can put another appointee up there. And then they're going to do that lawsuit for the 14th. Because guess what? If Trump gets another pick, if he gets another pick, right? The Supreme Court is either going to be 6-3 with 4 Trump judges on there. It's going to be 7-2 with 4 Trump judges up there. And then at that point, they good to go. They good to go. They good to file the lawsuit in federal court challenging the 14th Amendment. It's going to go straight to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is going to rule with them and say, yeah, we rule. Yeah, like the 14th Amendment wasn't properly ratified. Oh, yeah, the citizen clause, because I think that's what they're going after. They're going after the citizen clause in the 14th Amendment. That, yeah, that ain't right, which would denationalize damn near all Native Black Americans overnight. That's what they're going for. They've been going for that. Ever since the 14th Amendment was passed, they've been arguing that it wasn't properly ratified and that it should go. They've been arguing this. Let me see. Who is this? That's not going to happen. Nobody's abolishing the Electoral College. And again, we way past that now. Because if we abolished it tonight, the Supreme Court is still here. The Supreme Court is still here. Yeah, damn this right. Can't believe this. Can't believe this. Can't believe this. Yep, got all his loyalists in there. Like, yeah, we got to get off this topic. You said if Trump gets another pick, you getting your passport? Crazy. What do you mean, bye-bye, Jasmine? Are you a troll? let me know so I could put you on timeout because we don't play like that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting the stream. You know, yeah, this is that was hard to watch. These are some trying times, man. Some trying times. I tell you what. But yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Because let's keep it going. What was we supposed to cover right now? Because we did I think what we got to cover now. What do we have to cover now? What do we have to cover now? That I'm getting a brain fart. Let me see something. Since we talking about stuff like this. Oh, since we talking about stuff like this, shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you for rocking with me. I just had a little brain fart. I don't know. The jewels is at the bottom. It's that little gift bag at the bottom. But shout out to everybody in the building. I know what we're gonna cover now. Can y'all see my screen? We are going to cover Vosh talking about Graham Plattner. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let's get you out of here. Let's put you on timeout. There we go. Yeah, family, we about to cover Vosh because we already covered FD signifier crying and crashing out a little bit over why the white left is like this and why they backing somebody like Plattner. So let's see what Vosh has to say about what's going on with Plattner now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see what Vosh has to say. Make sure y'all like the stream.
Plattner's in trouble again. He's out in the doghouse. Another Nazi tattoo? No, not this time. No, they did not find a Sonnenrad around his asshole, you know? No, apparently, okay, my understanding of the story is this, okay? So after Plattner got married, which was recent, it was like 2 years ago, after Plattner got married, he told his wife, or somehow his wife found out, I don't know, that he had sent sexual messages to people while the two of them were in a relationship, but not married. And then his wife was presumably like, that's bad. Why'd you do that? And then they went to couples therapy. The wife made a mistake of telling this to Plattner's former campaign manager, who, like a little bitch, has run off to the Wall Street Journal in a desperate attempt to get Plattner canned and shared this intimate detail of Plattner and his wife's life that has no bearing whatsoever on the campaign and has also been internally resolved. Like the wife knew. Plattner's wife was the reason the former campaign manager knew. But anyway, yeah, ran off like a little bitch, presumably got a fat check from Chuck Schumer. And now we're in hot water again with Graham Plattner. No one cares Trump is president. It really does feel like the liberals and the DSCC. I mean, you know, these are the motherfuckers who want Plattner out. It really does feel like they think we're going to go, oh, you're right. That was bad of Plattner. I'm now in favor of the like monstrous Nazi genocidaire alternative or whatever. Oh, no.
Yeah. We know you wouldn't care. Just like, because I don't think why they thought this would even matter. These are the people who backed Plattner knowing he had a Nazi tattoo on his chest. These are the people who backed Plattner knowing that he was a Blackwater mercenary. These are the same people who backed him knowing that he said racist things about black people. So yeah, of course, this is not going to stop y'all from backing him.
Okay, never mind. I'll go with like the pedophile defending, genocidal piece of shit, deep state fuckwit on the other. Like, what are you going to... Listen, Plattner could do a lot at this point. He could do a lot. What are the chances it makes even a lick of difference? Zero. It's not going to do shit.
What they said, Plattner can do a lot. He can do a lot. So somehow we couldn't support Kamala Harris because of something Joe Biden did. But We can still support Plattner no matter what he does. This is the white lefty. This is white lefty. This is the Bernie bros. This is Bernie bro logic.
It's just fucking pathetic that they're so desperate to rag. Listen, okay, you can tell how badly they want you out based on the Oppo research. For the most part, journalists will not touch private stuff unless they're really incentivized to. Why? For one, everyone has private stuff, mutually assured destruction. For two, it's petty. For three, it might make people more nervous about associating or trusting you in the future, right? But remember, what's that fuck Nazi wheelchair Nazi, that fucking guy, muscly twink guy, white boy, Madison Cawthorn. No, not Abbott, Madison Cawthorn. It was like how Madison Cawthorn, you know, this is this like Hitler-loving kid, accused fellow Republican House members of being sodomites. Immediately, some insane shit dropped in him, right? That's Oppo research. Once the people in your circle decide they want you out, that's when it starts to drop. Likewise with Plattner, man, all the shit that come out from him is because Democrats don't want him to win. Same with this, right? Former campaign manager. Anyway, it's literally a fucking nothing burger. They're trying so hard with Plattner, like we're digging into the kick. Oh yeah, I saw this, okay? This is the level of desperation we're operating with here, okay? This is from editor-in-chief of the Daily Wire.
Exactly. They are like, what is this? They're the actual blue MAGA. See, they try to accuse Democrats of being blue MAGA because we supported Joe Biden and we supported Kamala Harris, but they're actually the blue MAGA. They're the blue MAGA. Yes, they just jealous of them. They jealous of them. They the same, one and the same. Yes, they always try to accuse us of being blue MAGA. They're red MAGA because you know they all lefties, and that's their color red. And the conservatives, the Republicans, that's their color red. Same, also the color of the Nazis. There you go. So they're the other red MAGA. So you got original red MAGA and you got alternative red MAGA. That's all these guys are, alternative red MAGA. Exactly. Remember I said that. I said everybody a Nazi to the lefties except the guy with an actual Nazi tattoo who was a Blackwater mercenary who was before that was in the military, who did multiple tours and was saying a bunch of racist stuff about black people. Like, so everybody's a Nazi except the guy with the literal Nazi tattoo. Democrats are blue. The lefties just a lot of times are with the Democrats because they're to the left of the Republicans. That's why when we say the left, when we say the left, that includes lefties and liberals. Because they're to the left of the conservatives. And a lot of times, because they don't have no power, they try to infiltrate the Democratic Party. Like right now, Plattner is not a Democrat. He's running on the Democratic side because that's what he has to do to try to get power. That's why the Democrats are trying to stop him. Yeah, disgusting.
It's real. Here's Graham Plattner's active profile on Kick, a, quote, Predator's Paradise app known as a hotbed for child pornography, kidnapping, and sexual abuse. Brent Scher, motherfucker, you're on Twitter. You're posting this on Twitter. Elon moved all the people who were supposed to be on like child protection on Twitter over to the office where people press a big red button to make Elon's tweets appear on your feed. Hey, main voter, did you know that he's got a dad bod? We're into that now, right? Surprisingly, Dem electeds being asked about this have told reporters to fuck off because Trump's the president. This is a private matter. For one, it's literally a nothing burger. For two, the president is like an arch pedophile. The president has...
Yes, they are anti-woke. What Vosh call woke one, which is identity politics. which is actually, caring about black people. Yeah, they were against that woke, but they got their own new version of woke. That's the thing. That's what I said. It's like horseshoe theory. The same way the Republicans was anti-woke, the lefties were anti-woke. Same thing they crying about black people being centered, the lefties were crying about black people being centered. Same thing. It's horseshoe theory. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for the 199 coming through with the double up, helping me get closer to my goal. Oh yeah. Yeah, we need to come up with an idea for a mascot for the BYB. A gorilla would be a good one, but I don't know. Yes, woke 2 is the woke where we don't give a damn about black people. That's woke 2. Woke 1 is we caring about black people. Woke 1 is shut up when a black person is talking, or don't try to correct black people, or let black people speak. Or we should support black people. That's woke 1. Identity politics. Woke 2 is we should curse black people out. We should care about what some racists say and fly over country and don't care about what black people say. That's what I think woke 2 is. Some people might say I'm exaggerating what woke 2 is, and I'm not being fair, but hey, it is what it is. I know for a fact, though, woke 1 is anti-identity politics. I know that for a fact. No one can accuse me of being unfair about that statement.
And it's not a joke, probably fucked more kids than almost anyone watching this has fucked adults. That's just a fact. That's a fact. He was the best friend of Jeffrey Epstein. He was on Little St. James all the time. He's probably gonna fucking hundreds of kids. He's fucking killed kids, dog. No one gives a fuck. If Plattner's been to fucking marriage counseling with his nice wife, no one gives a fuck, dude. He does have a nice wife. You want to see the video? I thought it was. I watched it. I watched it while I was driving home. There's like no division to exploit here.
Hey everyone, it's Amy. I wanted to make a statement today, and sorry, I'm getting eaten by bugs. I wanted to make a statement today in response to a couple of news articles that are out there about my marriage to Graham. If anybody knows me and Graham personally, you know that we got married in 2023. We live in Sullivan. We've got 2 dogs, and we love each other deeply.
Yeah, but Plattner had sex with a woman that was barely 26 years old. She was 25 and 7/8. You sick fuck.
So it makes me really angry, disappointed, and I find it really shameful that there's a group of media outlets.
You're teaching, Justin March. Woke 2.0 is the redemption arc for racists. Remember, even FD Signifier said it. That's why a lot of these lefties like Graham Plattner, he's basically running a redemption arc. He had a Nazi tattoo. He said racist things. He said sexist things. He served in the military. Then he came back to serve as a mercenary. But he woke up one day and realized, hey, we support Israel too much. And hey, I think I want to support the best economic policies for the American people. So yeah, he has been redeemed. That's the funny part. Plattner is just like the TV shows, like the cartoon characters, where they could do all kind of bad stuff and say some good stuff here or there, and then they've been redeemed. That's what we're getting right now. I don't think Tariq is black MAGA. He's just MAGA. Like FBA is just MAGA. They're not black MAGA. They just MAGA. There's nothing black about the stuff they do or say. Nothing. But yeah, let's get back to this.
And people who are willing to spread gossip instead of talking about real issues that Graham is running on, like healthcare and education and childcare. I'm walking up and down my road right now.
Yep. Don't care about the Nazi tattoo. Don't care about the racism. Don't care about the sexism. Don't care about any of the other bad behavior. He's for education and free healthcare and all that other stuff. Oh, look, I just see his bio right here. It says he was in the Marines and the Army. So he joined the Marines, he joined the Army, he joined Blackwater. He just couldn't get enough. He just couldn't get enough. He couldn't get enough. He could not get enough. This is ridiculous. Yeah, let's get back to this.
And this is like my 20th take. This is very hard to do. But I just really wanted to make sure that everyone knows that Graham and I have a great marriage. Being married is hard. Being newly married is hard. Being newly married and going through infertility is hard. Being newly married, going through infertility, and a Senate campaign is hard. I don't even know if I have the right word.
You know, we're living in like a prudish era when I see some people in chat, they're like, wait, he fucked a 26-year-old? Like, how old was he at the time? As if like there's any age where it's a problem to fuck a 26-year-old. Dog, people make fun of Leonardo DiCaprio because he keeps dating women who are 25 or younger. Like, because that's like he's like waking up next to them and like living with them and shit like that. Even though he's like,
yep, he broke his mind. The Platinum Bros broke FD signifier minds, and he's breaking a lot of the black lefties' minds, and that's good. Shouldn't have been a black lefty to begin with. You should have recognized what the play. You should have been saw the play. It might be scripted. I don't know. I don't even care. I don't even know. Like at this point, it don't even matter.
50 or whatever. It's not. It's fine. It's fine, people.
To describe what we've been going through, but our marriage counselor helps. My personal counselor helps. Graham's personal counselor helps. And we work on our mental health every day. No marriage is perfect, and I don't want a perfect marriage. I want my marriage, and I want to be married to Graham.
I think that's sweet. Yeah, I feel bad for her. You know, I mean, she must have understood that running as a populist Democratic senator would put Plattner in a position where her life would be, you know, scrutinized. But, you know, seriously, massive fuck you. Huge fuck you to that former campaign manager. Just like so fucking desperate, dude. Plattner's going to win. It's not even going to be close. And they're still like, just what is a fuck you? They're like, yeah, oh, hey, the Wall Street Journal. And fuck the Wall Street Journal, dude. Fuck these cuck-ass pedophile Zionist corpos who are like, literally like, we'll do anything to keep killing kids in Gaza. Like, we don't give a fuck. That's all we care about, you know? Run this shit ass story. Like, whatever. No one gives a fuck, you know? Pieces of shit. That campaign manager was fired by her centrist candidate today because they lost trust for her in this. Good, fuck her. She'll probably have like a NYT editorial job in the future or something, or maybe Daily Wire, who knows? No, it's crazy, man. Listen, it's just, I'm not one of those party hardliners or anything, man, but like, it's so obvious that so many of these Democrats would rather a Republican win than a good Democrat. You know what I mean? It's so, from so many of them.
No, that's you lefties. Like, this is projection. You would rather Trump win than a good Democrat. There was nothing wrong with Hillary Clinton. There was nothing wrong with Kamala Harris. But still in all, here you go. Y'all did not support her. But y'all want people to come out and support Plattner. Y'all want people to support this man. A man with a literal Nazi tattoo on his body. Yes. Yes, they gave us Fetterman. They gave us Fetterman.
It's obvious that that's their preference. I hate them. I really do. By the way, that person hated me when half the reason it took so long for PV to contact Plattner. Wait, Benjamin, did you contact the former campaign manager of Plattner's who leaked this info to the Wall Street Journal? You actually had contact with them? No, wait, that's cool. I don't type fast either. Ben actually left to take a fat shit after dropping that nugget of truth in chat. I get it. We've been in intermittent contact with the Plattner team since the launch of the campaign, but she blocked it for months. Damn. Wonder why. She's probably a Zionist. Did you tell her you're Jewish? Did that? No? All right. Fucking up, yeah. It made it worse. No! The Zionist was anti-Semitic? Fuck! Who could have called it? He'll do fine. Plattner, I mean. He'll do okay. He'll be all right. Plattner also has an active account on Kick, a popular private messaging app. Plattner's profile shows a mirror selfie of him shirtless, the towel wrapped around his waist. Many of his tattoos are clearly visible in the picture. Many of his tattoos, huh? Well, interestingly, one of his tattoos was obscured by the hand and selfie camera, if you think about it. He very selectively
which is not funny, by the way. So if he purposely is blocking the Nazi tattoo so that people can't see it on his Kick, which means he knows it was a Nazi tattoo. Because remember, he tried to lie and say he didn't know that was a Nazi tattoo. But you're sure making it your business to cover it up. You're showing everything else, but you ain't showing that. You knew. You knew it was a Nazi tattoo. You knew. You knew. And again, you lefties knew. But you didn't care. You didn't care.
He was hiding that one.
Yeah, but this is supposed to be a good candidate that Democrats don't like. Like, come on, playing on people's top like we're stupid. Like, oh, you got a Nazi tattoo, but you didn't know it was a Nazi tattoo. If he genuinely didn't know that was a Nazi tattoo, that means he's not qualified to be a United States senator. And if he knew, he's not qualified to be a United States senator with a Nazi tattoo on his body.
Not a Nazi tattoo anymore. No. He replaced the totem comp with fucking Nordic imagery, which is funny as fuck. But I bet you this picture was taken before he got the cover up, which, listen, we all know Plattner was bullshitting when he said he didn't know it was a fucking Totokopf until like a year ago. Like, there's no fucking way nobody told him, okay? He was like, he's definitely hiding it here. It's really, really funny. Oh,
so this is funny. See, I didn't watch this video, but look, he had to admit that, yeah, he's hiding it. And yeah, he was bullshitting when he didn't know it. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny. And we still should support him because he's a good candidate, because he believes in not sending weapons to Israel. I wonder why the guy with a Nazi tattoo is so anti-Israel. And he believes in universal health care and free education and blah, 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 blah. So we should just overlook all that other stuff. It's minor. It's trivial. It's funny. Remember, this is what broke FD signifier mind when you had Bad Empanada using racist terminology. And when FD signifier was telling him about it, he said, oh, cut it. What's the big deal? It's funny to call black people slaves. It's funny to call black people Zod slaves. So yeah, it's funny to call a black man a slave and also mix it with neo-Nazi terminology. That's funny.
Oh, speaking of the Nazi bullshit, this is going around Twitter. Somebody linked it earlier. I just want to PSA. This has been going around Twitter. It's fake. From the Wall Street Journal, phone screenshot. In one message as seen by the Wall Street Journal, Plattner refers to his people.
Yeah, those are not our allies. They were never our allies. Maybe some stupid black lefties thought that they were their allies, but they were never our allies.
Penis as, quote, mein Führer, and asked the woman if she would like for Plattner to Blitzkrieg that ass. I saw this everywhere on Twitter. A lot of people think it's real. It's not real. It's fake. Or if it's real, this is like super duper top secret extra info because this isn't in the Wall Street Journal article. It's not in there. So maybe this is like a secret extra Wall Street Journal article, you know? +5 for Maine voters. Yep. The real scandal is that it's a scandal. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, basically, that's the only thing I'm really mad about. Like, it's, again, the wife's not finding out now. She found out years ago. They already resolved it. Like, what are you even doing there? Like the Madison Cawthorn thing. Admittedly, the Madison Cawthorn thing was way crazier because he was like straight up humping his cousin or whatever. That was pretty crazy. But the fact that that got leaked right after he attacked Republicans was more interesting than the content of the video itself. What? Were you not around for that? That was a couple years ago. Yeah. Madison Cawthorn, Nazi 20-something white boy, got big muscles, at least on his upper half. He ran. He was a congressional. He was a rep for 2 years, and then he was going to run again. But he criticized Republicans, and then during his rerun, he criticized Republicans. A bunch of Oppo research dropped on him. He had cross-dressed. He was like,
I don't know about all that. Oh, the Knicks won. That's what I want to. Yeah. 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 Yep. The Knicks won. Let's see. Let's.
I don't want to say he was fucking his cousin, but it wasn't just like play humping. He was putting some motion in the ocean. Sure, you can find the video if you want. They were like on a bed, and he was like, you know what I'm talking about. Soaking? No. I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. There's an old 2016 era picture going around of a Trump pride rally. You know? Anyway. Plattner canceled again for, you guessed it, being a white male. It's a good title. So if I want to make more.
So Platinum was canceled for being a white male, not his antics, not his behavior, just for being a white male. See, what is the difference between what he just said there and what the conservatives be saying when people be canceling them, be calling for them to be canceled for their bad behavior? Oh, you're just hating on us because you're anti-white. Oh, just because we're white, just because we're straight and white and male. That's why you have a problem with us.
More money, I should bang some dudes. Well, gay people do make more money than straight men. Yeah, gay men make more money than straight men. Kind of a false, like causative relationship, though. In reality, it's probably more that men who can identify as gay publicly are more likely to live in blue cities, and blue cities have higher, on average, income per capita. I doubt. Now, one fact that is interesting is that gay men have substantially larger penises than straight men. That's been demonstrated in multiple studies.
Okay. We done with this. Shout out to everybody in the building. We are done with that. Family, make sure you supporting the channel any way you can. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel too. Make sure you do that. Subscribe to my second channel. I couldn't watch the game. For some reason, I couldn't watch the game. So it's like, yeah, my situation got messed up. So I couldn't watch the game tonight. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm excited too. The Knicks won. I would play something that show them winning, but I can't do that because, you know, reasons. I don't want to get in. I don't want no issues. But anyway, like I said, I can't stream too late. Maybe we could do one more video. One more, maybe two more. This is the Amazing Lucas. Let's see. Let's see what he got to say about the booing of the NAACP at the NAACP thing.
The Black and Brown Coalition. Oh my goodness. So if you hear anyone talking about black and brown coalition building in 2026, you need to let them go. They're cooked. They're deep fried. They're sauteed. Let them go and perish because that is their destination.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
That is long gone and done. It's game over when it comes to this coalition building and everything with black and brown. It's not going to happen. And the reason why I bring this up is because recently there was a Ohio.
Nah, I can't jack this. I can't jack this because, again, the coalition building that people are talking about is purely political. It's purely political. And again, it is necessary. Black people cannot win any election or take back political power in this nation by themselves. We put ourselves in a position, we behind the 8 ball. So yeah, we definitely need coalitions now more than we ever did before. So yeah, I can't agree with him. So let's see what he's talking about.
Black Expo. And on, there was a little panel. He had a bunch of YouTubers, and one of them was the NAACP president. He was talking about, hey, we got a bill, we got to unite, coalition, yada, yada, yada. And this is, y'all got to update the playbook. That's all I'm saying. You have to update the playbook because I understand within the Democrat Party, there are a lot of black people who are afraid of power. It just is what it is. There are a lot of black people who are afraid of power, and they have that post-traumatic slave syndrome that I constantly talk about, especially the older generation is, Massa says that we got to go here, then we got to go here. We must not upset Massa. And this is what he brought to this panel. Now, you had one of them, Philip Scott, who does the Africa Diaspora channel. We won't even go into him. But I find it ironic because I just have to mention this. I find it ironic that he wants to talk about black people voting for Kamala Harris when he himself was very adamant against voting for Kamala Harris. So I find it interesting how you try to say, well, black people did black. You were telling black people not to vote for Kamala Harris. But
that's a fact. That's a fact. But that's a game that they all play. They told people not to vote for Kamala Harris, and when people point out that, hey, black people didn't show up for Kamala Harris like they were supposed to, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Black people voted for her more than anybody else. 92% of black women voted for her. 87% of black men voted for her. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? We didn't do anything while also celebrating her losing and taking credit for it. Shout out to the Hood Mistress Reloaded for being in the building. Yeah, disgusting. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Anyways, I'm gonna let that slide. He asked, the president, he's like, okay, what do you mean by coalition building? And this individual goes, well, I mean black and brown coalition building. We gotta, come together. They got the same problems that we had. And the crowd goes crazy, bro. They go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right, just boo, 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 oh.
Match that power because we'll never have the numbers. What we can have is that solidarity because our causes are our causes, and we all know that we want to be able to eat. We should all be able to eat, to flourish, to be able to be happy in this city. And so whatever that looks like to you is what needs to be communicated to the powers that be.
Solidarity with whom? Could you describe who you need to be in solidarity with? I'm confused.
For me, that's black and brown people throughout the city. I'm not sure what the issue is there, but if it's a numbers game, we all have the same problem.
That's not it. That's not it.
And listen, I will say this about the NAACP president. He's right, but he's wrong. All right. And what I mean by that is what the problem with many black people, when you think about it in a political mindset, is that when you hear black and brown coalition, you think that's a trick bag, family. That's a trick bag. Because why? You always get the short end of the stick. That's how that works out. So nobody that is like a trigger word when you hear black and brown coalition. Oh, we not building anything. No, they always use us. Yada, yada. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with coalition, right? Coalitions, and I've done a video on this. I'm almost certain I've done a video on this, but coalition, right? Coalition is a temporary alliance. That's what that is. So when you are talking about in 2026, a coalition building, what do you like? What? You sound dumb. All right.
No, I feel like you're contradicting yourself, Mason Lucas, because it's like, again, you said you understand why people are talking about coalition building. And you just said you understand what a coalition is. It's not even like a long-term alliance. It's like an alliance based on something that we got to do right at this moment. So why would that be dumb? Black people don't got the numbers. Shout out to you, bro. You working for you listening from work? Yeah, keep listening. Make sure you hit that like button. Yeah. So why would that be done? Why would that be dumb? Future free. I didn't get to email him yet because I was busy today. But I'm definitely going to do that. I'm definitely gonna do that. Definitely gonna do that. Yeah, a handful of old Negroes that was brought there by Phil the Advisor. You said he a flip-flopping grifter? I don't know, Mulatto Vanguard. I don't think he a flip-flopping grifter. I think he genuinely believe what he's saying. But it's like that's why I'm gonna let him keep talking, because again, it sounds like it's like, well, if you know what a coalition is and you know and you understand the numbers game, then why are you against the coalition? I also understand his point too, that some people are sick of hearing about a black and brown coalition. They sick of hearing about black people in coalitions. So I understand that point too. But yeah, I'm gonna let him keep talking.
What temporary alliance do you have with brown people? Huh? Do you have a piece of paper? Have they signed their names on it? What type of transactional alignment do you have? Because that's what a coalition is. Hey, this end goal is going to benefit both of us. Now, usually we would go our separate ways, but because both of us are going to benefit from this end goal, let's do this temporary alliance to make this happen. That's
the coalition is getting the Republicans out of power. It's just that simple. It's just like I always give the World War II analogy. The coalition was the Americans, the European colonial powers, and the Soviet Union. All three of those groups had diametrically opposed visions for the future. All three of them. But they put that aside to get in coalition and work together to knock the Nazis out the war. That's it. That's what our coalition is. That's what the whole Democratic Party is. If you want to be real, it's just one big coalition of a bunch of different groups that don't get along, got different visions for the future, all working together, understanding that the Republicans are the bigger enemy. And then we have to come together and we got to knock the Republicans out. Yes, Julius, that's another good example of a coalition. Black troops fighting for the Union. Because for all you don't know, the Union was super racist, but they were better than the Confederacy. The Union even had slave states fighting for them. Because not all the slave states joined the Confederacy. But black people still supported the Union because they understood that was the better option.
How that works. Furthermore, the reason why I say, he's right in that aspect, and I explained, a coalition is a good thing if you can get it. But the reason why he's wrong by the same token is that you have nothing to bring to the table. Damn. All right. Now, when I mean you, I mean black people as a whole, us as a whole. All right. Politically speaking, that is the problem. So when you talk about coalition building, maybe a few years ago, right, a few decades back, sure, by all means. But right now, there is no group of people, all right, that are going to be like, yeah, let's coalition build with you. What resources do you have? Nothing? Okay. Well, what sector of the job market do you control? Nothing? Okay. What about your buying power? No. Politicians. What politicians do you have? None? Yeah. Well, what are we building? What do we get out of this deal? That's what you have.
Nah. The alliance is already set. It's about knocking out the Republicans. That's what it's about. I think let me see. Ezekiel. I think your name is Ezekiel. That's not how the Electoral College works anymore. Like we don't most places even have laws against no faith voters in the Electoral College. Like that Electoral College stuff, that's a dead issue. That has been adjudicated. The 2016 election adjudicated that. People thought that we could have the faithless electors to put Hillary Clinton in office over Donald Trump because he was so wildly unqualified. And that's what the founders even intended it to be But because so many states had passed laws saying that there can be no faithless electors, I think that's what they call faithless electors, that it couldn't happen. So yeah, the whole electoral college picks the president, whereas those individuals, that ain't how it works no more. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm disagreeing with him on this too, but we're gonna see. He still got some time.
To understand, no other group, especially not brown people, they did a study not too long ago where, by 2050, white people won't be the majority, but guess who will be the majority minority? Latinos. And guess where black people would be? Still at 13% of the population. Everyone else is going to grow, but we're going to be at 13% of the population. Why on God's green earth would you coalition build when they've gotten everything they've wanted thus far with having to deal with black people? It doesn't make any sense from like a Latino perspective.
It does make sense because they're not there yet. And again, white people will still be the plurality in this country. And also, a large swath of Latinos identify as white. So they're not actually, like I brought this point up like 10 years ago when everybody was saying black and brown, even Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar, all of them. And I said, y'all got to be careful with that because a lot of that brown think that they white. I was the first person to point that out. And I also was the one who created that term that Latino is not a race. It functions as a race, though. So, yeah, they still will need black people to be in coalition with them to get what they want. And also that them being the largest minority of the once white people become a plurality, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. So you got to remember, an alliance is about the here and now. The here and now. Maybe in the future they don't need black people, but right now they do.
I'm not going to build with the person who's going out, right? I'm not going to build with the old guy on the NBA team when he's going out his way to retirement. That's not what's going to happen. I'm trying to see what's the new fresh blood over here. How do we make this thing go? So that's what you have to understand. And then you have to look into, well, there's a lack of organization. Black people aren't really good when it comes to organizing in a political atmosphere. So limited.
The reason why black people say 13% of the population, nobody's lying. What's happening is black people are basically aborted their percentage points. Like, for all you don't know, the black population, especially the native black population, is shrinking. All of our growth is because of black immigrants. Black immigrants coming here having a bunch of kids is how the black community is even stabilized. That's the stabilizing force. Because if you exit out the black immigrants, the black community is shrinking. It's actually like 30-something million people and shrinking. It's the black immigrants coming here, having a bunch of kids and coming here in large numbers. And also the numbers counting anybody black with black blood that's even keeping us stable at 13%. Like I said before, all them abortions, all that gang violence, all that the drug era, all that stuff is catching up with the black community. It's catching up with the black community. Yeah, that's been by design. We've been stuck at 13 because every time we should be getting a big population boost, something happened. Something always happened. Like since slavery to now, something always happened. The black population has basically been hovering between 11 and 13% for like 160 years. Exactly. That's why I said like that whole old Latinos are going to be the biggest group and white people are going to be a minority. Nah, because one, white people going to still have going to be a plurality. They still going to have the ultra super majority of the wealth. They still going to have ultra super majority of the elected officials. And again, a large swath of Latinos see themselves as white people. Like right now, black people are the plurality in Chicago. But if you look at Chicago, they're going to tell you it's more white people in Chicago than they are black people. You know why they say that? Because they're counting all the Latinos as white people. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Yeah, it's by design. It's by design. Anytime the black community is about to break out, should be breaking out with a higher population, something is happening. Crack, gang, like super duper gang violence, the ghettoization where we getting stuffed into inner cities so we don't got room to grow. Like the pushing of abortion. Like people just, everybody want to be a player pimp Mac. That's how this is happening. Yes, Chicago is like one of the blackest cities in America, but you don't know that because they promote it as if it's not, because they say officially white people, there are more white people than black people, but it's only more white people, barely, because they're counting everybody white and all Latinos as white. But yeah, let's get back to this.
The capital, limited buying power. Latinos, their buying power far supersedes black buying power. So there's a lot of factors you have to come in. Population, in and of itself, the majority of black people aren't scattered all throughout the country. No, they're heavily condensed in the South. Guess where the Voting Rights Act, where they just gutted that bill? Guess where that's being heavily impacted? In the South.
So yeah, he's right about that. That black people are losing political power like crazy. So yeah. So from a lot of people's perspective, that a coalition with black people that pushing black issues is a less of a thing because black people have lost so much political power. Like I said, what's going to happen? Like the reason why you got the lefties picking up steam and moving like they moving, because of, again, black people have lost so much political power. They have gained the power.
So there is no reason why they would even think about coalition building. Damn. The issue I had also with this panel, and this is this concept of hope and prayers. I don't know what it is, all right? Because y'all keep talking about God this and Jesus this and all this, Christian, religious, Protestant, whatever your religion is, I don't care, bro, okay? But the black church, I would argue, has done more harm than the Klan. All right, I'm gonna repeat that again. So
you went too far. The black church has not done more harm than the Klan. Oh, and by the way, I just looked up the Chicago population numbers. The black population just shrunk like crazy in Chicago. Black people shrunk like crazy in Chicago. Insane. Insane. The black population went down like crazy in Chicago.
So some of y'all can hear. I think the black church has done more harm than the Klan, because even this panel, we're still hearing about, well, God got us and Jesus is going to do this. And, you had this woman come out talking about, we don't need anybody. God has a plan for us. And you know what? We come from a bunch of pyramid builders. Listen,
So we never needed them, and we don't want them.
Don't need them. We don't need them. Yeah, we do. I say. I say.
But yeah, she's kind of agreeing with you when she's saying we don't need no. I'm not gonna say she's agreeing with you, but she's definitely agreeing with the sentiment that we don't need no coalition. We do not need no coalition, and she not even from the black church. She got a FOI shirt on. She talking about Allah. She probably from the NOI.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
I don't know what God y'all referring to, because it's not the God of the scripture, all right? I don't know at what point in time the people, anyone in the scripture just sat around going, God will make it happen. God will make it happen. God, you're going to make it happen. I don't know what Bible you're reading, fam. Are you reading the slave Bible? Because that would explain a lot. Maybe a lot of black people still have the slave Bible from like their grandmommy, okay, or their granddaddy. And that's what they've been reading, because that's the only logical conclusion to come to when you talk about God will provide, we don't need anybody. How's that been working out for you thus far? Damn. God gave you a mind. God gave you the ability and the talent to completely destroy the enemy, and y'all doing nothing. Y'all got a sword and a shield, right? I ain't trying to get, biblical on you, but we know about the sword and the shield.
Yeah. No, Almighty One and Strong, they not lying about the numbers. It's just that they killing black people. Remember, like we did the story about how damn near a million black people died in 10 years. Like they are like from sterilization programs, black people die, the black death rate through the roof. They mass incarceration. Think about it. If you take a black person and who's 18 years old and give him like 20, 30 years in prison, he gonna come home at 40 something. How many kids would he have had if he had been out in the street for those last 20 years, 30 years? That played a big role in it. Think about it. The black population in in California is basically extinct. And one of the big reasons for that is because of mass incarceration. They literally warehouse multiple generations of black men who and gave them life in prison, 50 years, 30 years. They were not on the street to have kids. They were not on the street to have kids. Like when you warehouse whole generations of black men, they're not here to have kids. Just think about it. How many kids would you have millions of black men locked up or on some type of paper or have been in and out of jail? If they wasn't in and out of jail like that, they would have had how many kids? So many black men I know don't got no kids because they was in and out of jail all the time. They never was on the street long enough. Like I never been like to prison and did no super amount of years in jail and like that or prison. And I got 5 kids, but I tell you right now, if I had been in and out of jail, in and out of prison, I would not have 5 kids. I wouldn't have 5 kids.
And the breastplate, right? If I'm not mistaken, of righteousness, if I'm not mistaken, but y'all not doing anything with it. You have all the equipment, all the talents, all the gifts, and y'all sitting around on your butt going, well, God's going to provide. God's going to do it. That's what's going to happen. God's going to, what? Huh? What are you talking about? Right? And that's what infuriates me the most. It's like seeing someone, you ever have somebody who has gifts and talents, but yet they're wasting their life? They're not really doing anything with those gifts and talents. And you're thinking to yourself, man, if I had just an ounce of the talent you had, I would rule the world. I would do this, I would do that. And you see this person just squandering their talents, bro. Squandering their talents. There's a parable in the Bible talking about of squandered talents. And that's what it feels like black people are doing currently right now, especially from a political perspective.
I see squandered opportunity. Because like I said to people before, if y'all really got a problem with Hillary Clinton, we could just do the Barack Obama, right? Like Barack Obama gave y'all the game. Barack Obama was not supposed to be president. He was not supposed to run for president. He literally bullied his way through. He skipped the line. He showed y'all how to maneuver. Like we had the power. We could have picked our own candidate and nobody could have stopped it. And we could have bullied everybody else into supporting that candidate. We squandered that opportunity. Golden opportunity. 150 years in the making got squandered.
Everything that we want, we can have. 100%. There is nothing, no white supremacist, no Klans member, I don't care who it is, that can get in our way. As the scripture says, if God is for us, who dare be against us? But the only thing is, he has to be for you. You have to be doing something for him to be for. You can't just sit on your butt talking about, well, God is going to end this. God is going to make this happen. That's not how that works, bro. That's not how that works. And I think I think there has been a deterioration of the comprehension skills regarding the Bible. I think when it comes to the propaganda that's come out of the black church, when it comes to the propaganda that's come out, period, from the Vatican, hell, we'll even go that far, that it is completely eroded many black people's minds. And y'all are talking and quoting a Bible that you are foreign of, bro. Y'all are quoting scripture and it.
All right, we're not doing a Bible lesson right now. Let's see. We gotta have to fast forward.
Oh, I'll agree to the extent that, hey, we don't need them. You're absolutely right. But you have to build something. If you don't want anyone else, right? We're going to do this on our own. Everybody hates us. What does that mean? That means you have to do something by yourself. That means you have to build, you have to organize, you have to mobilize. The same issues that I've been reading about is that, hey, we're not, outworked or whatever. We're not outsmarted. We're out mobilized. We're out organized. Is the same issues going on in 2026. It's the same problems. And nothing no one and nothing has addressed this same problem. And if that's the case, well, guess what's going to happen? The same problems are going to continue. And it's going to continue until extinction. That's what's going to happen. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think.
All right, cool. Shout out to the amazing Lucas, but I can't jack most of the stuff he was saying in this video. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not going to say maybe not. No, I can't jack most of the stuff that he was saying in this video. Like, I understand what he was saying, but ultimately, I don't think. Yeah, matter of fact, I understand what he was saying, because he was saying that it can be no coalition because from the Latino perspective, there's no need to coalition. So, yeah, I don't know. So I might have to watch this video again. But for the most part, what he was saying was true. But coalition is still possible, and we do still need coalition. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got 138 in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yes, a bitter pill. But yeah, I'm about to get off this. Family, make sure y'all go subscribe to my second channel. Please go subscribe to the second channel. I'm uploading over there. I'm about to put all original content over there. And I'm about to have to put mad content over there, because for some reason, they playing with the monetization and my uploadability on this channel. I can still go live, but that's why I haven't been uploading any videos. But yeah, I'm about to end this tonight. Shout out to everybody who came through. Shout out to Justin Marsh, my first moderator, for coming through, gifting 20 memberships. Family, you can go get your own membership. And if Justin Marsh gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Shout out to Red Pill Zulu for coming through with the 20. Shout out to Madison for coming through with the 199. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for being a channel member for 2 months. Shout out to you, Lord of Slaughter. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for coming through with the 199. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for coming through with a double up for another 199. And also thank you for that good idea about, the gorilla being the mascot. But yeah, family, make sure you support me any way you can. PayPal, Cash App, super thanks. Support me with a like. Support me with an emoji. Support me by hitting that reaction heart. Support me with a share. Support me with a jewels. Support me any way you can. So yeah, I'm ending this video here. Have a good night. And on that note, family, peace. Right here, that's my second channel. Prince, No Face Killer. All right, good night. Peace. Or good evening, good afternoon, or wherever you at, or whenever you see this.